It's time to step into the exciting world where art, interior design, and immersive creativity collide. On May 31st, Trinidad and Tobago will host the highly anticipated debut of the Worlds Collide Trinidad edition at the Elevated Creative Hub in Marval, a premier Caribbean art and interior design collective that has already made waves across Jamaica and Barbados. But this is more than just an art exhibition. Worlds Collide is designed to transform spaces into experiences, blending fine art, interior design, culture, and storytelling into immersive environments that challenge the way we view creativity in the Caribbean. And this year's Trinidad edition will showcase some incredible local talent and also highlight the growing importance of the creative or orange economy in the region. Joining me this morning are Dr. Prishni Ramprasad Singh, artist and creative, whose work explores the intersection of biology and beauty, and Stefan O'Malley, founder of Worlds Collide Trinidad. Good morning, and thank you for being here.
What an introduction. Thank you so much for having us.
Well, you're most welcome. Thank you for sharing this with us this morning. So for viewers hearing about Worlds Collide for the first time,
yes,
what is the concept behind this event, and how is this different from a traditional art exhibition?
Well, great question. Worlds Collide, as the name suggests, it's an interactive art show. It fuses different aspects and different elements of culture. So we like to fuse a bit of music with dance, of course, with visual art. So there are two nuances to how we represent art on the night of the show. There is art on display, and then there's also an auction segment of the show, so persons can buy art and bid for art on the night. So it's very interactive. And obviously there's a huge cultural element. You know, for us, the vision of Worlds Collide is to use art as a vehicle that can unite Caribbean culture. Obviously, me being Jamaican, as somebody who's had the privilege of being exposed to Trinidad's culture and falling in love with the culture here, it was so important for us to bring the show to Trinidad. I think that you guys have such an immense cultural reputation and so much cultural influence in the region, so that's really why it was just so important for us to bring the show here, you know.
Now, you've had successful shows in Jamaica and also Barbados, so why Trinidad and Tobago is up next?
Well, I think, you know, in looking at it, there are two perspectives I would answer that question from. From a broader socio-economic perspective, I feel as though I've been compelled with a very unique vision to see how and where I can contribute to the culture and the tourism industry in Trinidad and Tobago. With the geopolitical tensions in the world, obviously we know that Trinidad has made an indelible contribution to the oil and gas industry, but like you said in the introduction, it's time for us to really take a look at how the orange economy can grow here, because you know, there's just a lot going on in the world and we need different revenue streams as a region to be able to bolster and to further the growth of our economy. So that's one level why I think the show is important here. And then secondly, you know, there's just so much talent in this country, so much talent. You know, we have Dr. Prishni Ramprasad Singh, who's one of the feature artists. We have Aaron Crow, who's another local artist, Luke Pounder, Marianne Polonais. So it's really giving local Trini artists the platform to showcase their work, to be seen, to be heard, and most importantly, to be in spaces where they can feel acknowledged and appreciated, you know?
Well, Prishni, tell us about your role in all of this.
Well, as he said, I'm one of the feature artists. He would have approached me about the show. And I personally have been doing art for a really long time, but I've never actually shown my pieces in a public space. So when he reached out to me, I said, absolutely, I'd love to be on board. And when he showed me the iterations in the different countries, I said, wow, that's something I've definitely never seen before here. So I was very much excited to be part of something like that.
Yeah. Now, this event explores the idea of interior design versus art. So are these still separate creative spaces, or are they becoming increasingly interconnected today?
Yeah, I would say definitely increasingly interconnected. I think that, especially for my style of art, I'm an abstract expressionist. So in my style of art, you can see no evidence or trace of anything formal. You can't make out somebody. It's all about the emotional invocation of color. And that really works well with interior designers, because a lot of interior design now is very modern. So there's a lot of minimalism in terms of the use of color. It's a lot more uses of whites and blacks and grays. And, you know, so that kind of thing really works well with interior designers, because my art then just gives that kind of punch of color and space. It's not too much of like landscape or anything like that. So I think more and more, to answer your question, there is a strong symbiosis between those two worlds of visual art and And interior design, huge shout out to our head of interior design, Mr. Alex Yates, who works with us on those kinds of projects, because we are actually working on a huge project in Jamaica right now where we're fusing the two. He's doing the interior design and we are bringing the visual art to the space. So very similar concept of the show. It's fusing those two worlds. And of course the music element as well. You know, we're gonna have a lot of wonderful music, different selections from different parts of the world, Spanish music, local Trini music, obviously being Jamaican, don't forget some dancehall, a little reggae on the night. So that's really what Worlds Collide is about. It's a celebration of culture and multiculturalism, you know.
So Dr. Virshni, tell us now about your art. We saw some images on the screen with you hard at work. So tell us about the type of art that you do and how long have you been doing this?
Well, it definitely does not look as put together as it looked in those photos. So I started painting around the age of 12. I started with mostly acrylic paints, but it's always been realism for me. I've always been very much inspired by the landscape, by persons, but in the acrylic format. It's only recently I started using oil paints, and something about the blendability has just been so beautiful. I've been starting to do portraits and things that I wasn't able to do before. So, yeah, very much inspired by things around me. I like to see exactly what I see. I'd like to capture it in exactly that essence on paper.
I see. Yeah. So now your contribution to Worlds Collide, can you give us a sneak peek of that?
Yeah, so actually, the name of my collection is called A Walker's Gaze, and it's inspired by an extremely talented local photographer by the name of Nicholas Walker. And he does, oh my God, his photos are exceptional. So every single photo, painting that I've done is a rendition of a photo that he would have taken, including the live piece. All 5 pieces are something that he has taken a photograph of. Yeah.
That sounds beautiful. Now, Trinidad has a really vibrant cultural identity that you seem to be very obsessed with, rightfully so. I mean, yes, welcome to Trinidad.
Thank you.
So, how do Caribbean influences really shape the visual language and the creativity showcased in Worlds Collide?
You know, that's a great question. I think when we think of creatives, many times creatives are thought of as like these ethereal, hard-to-reach people that are just in their own worlds. I think for my personal journey, I'm proud to stand as somebody who kind of reshapes that stereotype, you know, being someone who's also a law student in addition to being a creative. And I guess I say that to answer your question. One of the biggest things that makes a creative influential, whether a visual artist or influencer, is really courage. You know, people probably won't associate that quality with a creative, but courage is so important to be a top creative. It takes so much courage to put your emotions on a canvas, or to put it in song, or to put it in spoken word. It takes a level of courage because, you know, like you spoke about in your earlier segment on social media, you have a set of people who go say, nah, that not saying thing, that not thing. Yeah. So courage, I'd say, is the #1 thing that I think goes very unappreciated in giving.
Tough crowd.
I mean,
yeah, very, very
super tough crowd. But when you win over a tough crowd, you know, that's when you know your worth and your veracity as a creative.
So finally, tell us what can we expect after Worlds Collide on May 31st?
Well, before we get into what we can expect after, I have to take the time, of course, to big up my sponsors. First of all, I have to big up Dime, big up Tixie. I have to say lots of love to Coca-Cola and Dasani, who are beverage sponsors. Brydens as well, want to show them a lot of love, and thanks to everybody who has come on board so far. You know, the show is 2 weeks away, so anybody watching this that feels as though they'd still want to come on board as well, it's never too late. But you know, Worlds Collide is a movement that's growing really quickly. Obviously, we did 5 shows in Jamaica, we did Barbados last year, we're doing Trinidad at the end of this month. We've been approached to look at about 4 other islands, so we're probably going to start going into the Spanish-speaking Caribbean very soon with the show. My personal goal for the show, and obviously maybe Prishni would share this, is to do the show in 100 countries. So we've done, Trinidad will make 4, because the show started in the US, and then Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad. So this will make 4, so 96 countries to go.
Wow.
I don't know in what time period we'll get this done, but that's the ambition that we have for the show. We just know that art is a wonderful vehicle for young people to ascertain upward social mobility, and that's something that we really all need, you know, so.
Well, we see you on May 31st at the Elevated Creative Hub in
Yes.
Maraval. All right, appreciate
Yes.
all the best for this Worlds Collide. And
Will you be coming to the show?
yeah, to see Prishni's work, of course.
Okay,
we will
great.
we'll definitely get some highlights for our viewers who will not make it, but most of them will.
Yes, and if you are watching right now and you're interested in purchasing tickets, tickets are online. You can go on www.tixi.live, look at Worlds Collide, and you can purchase a ticket. Also, special thanks to Elevated Creative Hub, that's the place where we're hosting the event. You know, they have a very, very special vision of giving Caribbean artists a space to dream. Special thanks to Miss Mary Hinkson, who is the person that's allowing us to use the space. And yeah, we're so excited. May 31st can't come soon enough. So get your tickets, follow us on social media at Stefan Amali, at Prishni_R, I think. And then of course at High Esteem Agency, which is the company that's funding and pouring the show. You can follow us, reach out to us. You want to learn. I think ticket links are in all of our bios. So can definitely get a ticket, and we look forward to everyone's love and support on the show.
Dr. Prishni, I think you just have a PRO here now. So this is your marketing specialist. I think he will definitely get you some more followers and everything
Doing
else.
an excellent job. I have
that's
no
good.
complaints.
Well, thank you very much, Dr.
you so much
Prishni
as well.
and Stefan, for joining us. Worlds Collide taking place on May 31st at the Elevated Creative Hub. We take a break, and when we come back, Link Up is to come, and also Carmina Realty there with us.
I'm lost in Trinidad. So high in the morning, masquerade.